Oh my goodness, you guys, we have an absolute clash of titans in today's game, man. It is between Mr. Rooster PB and Sarah Zeech, who of course are both highly recognized, highly renowned members of our happy little Mechabellum community. Rooster PB, he is starting off with Quick Supply Specialist and the triple drop of Mustangs. Love it. Love how bold it is, more than anything. It looks like it is actually going to be able to take the win on both sides as well, which of course is what you want as Quick Supply Specialist. You want to have that nice decisive first round win, maybe get some experience advantages, couple of levels maybe on some of the units. Not quite by the looks. On the other side we have Sarah Zeech playing the standard, the vanilla Supply Specialist, man. With a mix of Stangs, Chef and Marksman. Okay. Rooster, Rooster, Rooster. What are we looking at here? Ooh, Sarah goes straight into the Scorpion, even though there's no massive need for it right now. But perhaps just an investment for the future. Could it be Phoenixes for Roosters? There are too many Stangs on the field already. I'd imagine not the two Fangs. Okay, also goes into the Scorpion as well. Maybe just the safe pick, to be honest. Like the lowest risk pick. Scorpions always kind of pay off, right? Okay, right away from Sarah Zeech, we've got some flanking crawlers arriving on the right side. Additional Scorpion coming down for Rooster, he believes. And it looks like Fangs on the unlock. And perhaps it's going to mix up the chaff a little bit. Which is maybe something, by the way, that Red might struggle with. Speaking of the chaff situation, it's just a whole lot of crawlers down on the field right now. Going Fangs into so many Mustangs can be a bit of a disaster if you're not careful. It feels like Fangs die so quickly, so easily to Stangs. They're just completely outgunned. Whereas crawlers at least are tanky enough to kind of stuff the barrels of the Mustangs a little bit and just distract them for far longer. And so the whole chaff situation might become a little bit crawler-centric for Sarah Zeech, whose flanking crawlers are of course going to be picked off by the backline crawlers of blue over here. Scorpion on the left side does get latched on by the Marksman here, but there's just too many crawlers. They are going to overwhelm the Stangs on that side. The right side, a little bit stuffier. As the Scorpion actually drops for blue, first and foremost. Now, it's a lot of crawlers still to deal with. The Scorpion, not the most efficient at obviously picking those guys off, and with the building going down, you got to imagine that the Stangs are going to be able to pick off the Scorpion here. Or maybe not. That's a hugely clean hit. So the Stangs might be stuck at level 1 for just another round. So sadly, we might not see some crazy carry Mustang action in this game, is what I'm saying. Which is sad. You don't often see the more meme-style builds, the more one-dimensional builds come out in these higher MMR games, but... Ooh. Improved firepower control comes out for Sarah Zeech over the haste module. Willing to drop the 100 supply on that? Where did that go? Who did he put that on? On the Stangs himself. Okay. And also firepower control coming out for Rooster too. Okay. Question is, will he try and reinforce this side now? He actually does. Over the temptation of putting it on what could be a level 2 pack of Stangs. And yet just more crawlers dropping down for Sarah Zeech as well. Gotta be said, neither side really has particularly awesome chaff clear at this stage. Both just trusting in Stangs for the time being, and it's just a quad drop of Stangs for now. On the side of blue with... What is this? Dude, I love that positioning on this Arclight drop, man. From Sarah Zeech there, dude. Just preempting that there's going to be a big wave of weaker units coming on down this way. Doesn't get quite as much work done as one might hope if you're playing as red, but it does a pretty decent job. If that thing hits level 2, suddenly it's a little bit of a problem that has to be addressed. Okay. Building taking forever to go down, partially because of building debuff and partially because Sarah actually upgraded the health on this building just a little bit. This building going down could spell much more disaster for red. And it appears to. Okay, so even in lieu of the sneaky flank plays, not quite enough to turn it for Sarah Zeech. But if anybody's ever watched either of these plays before, you know you can't write either of them off. Absorption module. What did that just go on? the Scorpion. Okay. I mean, heavy armor or absorption module, right, for Rooster. Does he have anything to put the module on? Does he believe in it on the Scorpion? Goes for the heavy armor instead. Yeah. I'm not a big believer in the absorption module, man. I don't know. Maybe I've just been burned by it one too many times, but there you go. Okay, so the range advantage coming out for Blue's Stangs at this stage as well. He does have a couple more upgrades on his Stangs as opposed to Red's. Feels like that will be a massive, massive difference maker here, as Red has already only got 50 supply yet to spend. Having spammed out a whole lot more on, what, just more chaff, was it? Wee bit more chaff. Move speed button also pushed. 250 supply yet to burn for Blue. Still got a couple of buys yet available. Wouldn't be surprised to just see more crawlers come out. Backline here, maybe. Something like that. It is just more crawlers in the end. Okay. And where are these guys going to go? Those guys on a flank? No, they weren't. Right here. Okay. Also, crawlers flanking in on red side as well. Just going to protect this Acolyte a little bit more than they were otherwise getting protected. However, this Acolyte does have increased movement speed now because we hit the building button. Is it going to aggro? Okay, never mind. It is actually still going to do its job and fight the little good fight over here on this flank, but still dying off pretty quickly this time, mostly because of the increased range on the Stangs. Just kind of giving Blue the edge at this stage. Also the increased damage from these Stangs as well. Should be able to chew down the Scorpion with decent speed. Got to get this building dead ASAP because he's about to lose his own building here otherwise. And that's going to secure the kill on the Scorpion, allowing these Stangs to level all the way up to rank 3 right away. That's kind of big, man. So these Stangs kind of getting a little bit out of control here now. You've got to wonder, how is Sarazic actually going to navigate this, given that, you know, the obvious answer is, okay, Stangs, crawlers getting out of control. You're talking maybe like flaming stormcallers, maybe Vulcans, something like that, you know. Ooh. We do have double improved firepower Stangs on both sides now. But yeah, what I was saying is going fire is red. Sure, it will kill off a lot of what Blue is doing, but at the same time, he's got a lot of his own Stangs that he doesn't want to, you know, annihilate with friendly fire, let's say. And so he's just going to continue to trust in yet more packs of Stangs. Very, very forward-facing Scorpion here. Okay. Oi. I wonder if a play for Blue here is to not go high explosive ammo. I wonder if maybe that might not be the play. Ooh, he actually goes for the Vulcan. Okay, that's dicey, man. Just because you're up against Marksman and Scorpions right away, the positioning of this thing has got to be perfect. Like, same thing applies to Blue as it did to Red, like I just described. You can't really go into Incendiary Bomb without some really quite moderate risk to burning your own chaff. It's quite hard to predict and sort of mentally map out how the fire is going to land, but here we go, man. The Stangs, much safer on red side of the map now. They're going to kind of camp out behind the Scorpions, which is obviously ideal. It's going to provide them cover from the Vulcan. So they got to get the Scorpions dead on the side of Blue before the Vulcan can actually connect. And oh god, Vulcan gets utterly eviscerated. So even though they're going to get the building kill over here now, I think it's just going to be... there's just no time. There's just no time, man. And wow, would you look at that? The absorption module must have healed up the Scorpion by quite a bit. It's actually still rather healthy. And yeah, even though they do get building eventually over on this side, this is not going to be enough. So long as the Scorpion lives. And so this Scorpion, with the absorption module, is just tanking up and just protecting the Stang line at this point. And Rooster needs a way to get it dead as quickly as possible. Laser Sights comes out for red, no hesitation at all. I wonder, is improved melting point ever worth it here? Nah, it's not. I was thinking a mass-produced melting point. Even then, probably not worth it, right? This is almost certainly a Laser Sights pick. Where did the Laser Sights go? Also goes in the other pack of Mustangs, so these guys now have God range. Ooh. Rooster goes for the Electromag Impact, which is going to cut down some shields, reduce range a little bit. He's also going to spam the oil down on the ground. I actually quite like that play. I think that's pretty saucy. Yeah, that's pretty saucy, man. I can totally get behind that. Increase dem. The building health on this building is up to 3 now, by the way. So Sarah doesn't even care so much if this building eventually does die. Building debuff is not going to last that long. I think we just saw a cell on one of the Scorpions over on this other side. The Vulcan is kind of powerless in this situation, man. They need Scorpion killers and they need them quickly. So the extra Scorpion over here is going to help out a moderate amount. But one additional Scorpion, is that going to be enough to get this done? The shield damage is big from the Electromag drop. So that's good at least. Somehow the Vulcan is not setting this oil on fire. There it is. Finally goes off. And that is going to make a pretty sizable difference. It's just going to guarantee that even once the Vulcan's dead, the chaff is going to continue to drop. This building will eventually die on red side. But again, it's not going to matter all that much. They've got one more Scorpion to chew their way through. But there's just not enough Stangs left alive to get this done. That said, with this building dying, it's going to slow the move speed and increase damage taken from all of these guys in the fire for just a little while until the fire ticks out. Which should be any second now. And so maybe this is doable? It should be. Building death. Oi, 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 oi. Man. This is a tight game, man. This is way tighter than it seems. Okay, a double fortress drop comes out from Sarah. Fire Badger. Is anyone gonna go for like the big hacker play here and preempt the fortress is coming out? Probably not, right? Oh my god. Rooster, you absolute madman. He's going to go for it. He's going for it, man. So right now, this is going to aggro on the crawlers. Obviously, the plan is to hack the Scorpions and or the fortresses, right? That's got to be it. Oi, 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 oi. Replicate on the crawlers. Ooh. So the replicate of the crawlers is going to help out quite a bit over here, man. The crawlers also go into impact drill. So they're going to clear this side and get the building dead much, much faster. They should have like a decent little swarm over on this side as a result of those picks. But again, the building debuff is not going to last that long. It's only going to be it's going to be a 6-second reduced building debuff time. Bit sketch. It really all comes down to, can this hacker latch onto important stuff? That's really what this is all about, right? Crawlers all dead over here. It's currently tickling other crawlers on this side right now. Not ideal. Keeping a special little side eye on the left side over here as well, as the crawlers are going to push into the Stangs over there. But this hacker has got to latch on something decent, because there really wasn't a big power creep on this right side besides the hacker. And it was super, super close last time as well. So the crawlers are going to connect on the building just now. The last of the chaff is dead, so it's finally going to start to latch on something now, this hacker. Just as the building dies. This is going to be a really, really fast hack. This is a level 5 hacker. It's going to steal the fortress right away. Of course, there is a Scorpion that's going to be able to, oh god, absolutely Angela Merkel the hell out of the poor hacker. Or maybe it was the fortress that clipped a hacker there at the end. I'm not sure. Either way, it died a death. And it's one more chance now for Rooster to stop the match of the fortresses here. Sarah going straight into intensive training. He believes. Heavy armor coming out. Big training on these Stangs now, who have absolutely ungodly range. Oi, 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 oi. Could Acid Scorpions be an answer? Maybe? Just to help chow down the fortresses a little bit. I don't know if this is even stoppable, man. We don't really have the supply to adequately buy something like a... To unlock, buy, and adequately upgrade a melting point to deal with all this. He's gonna go for it. Big cell. Is this gonna be range, or is it gonna be Electromag Barrage? That is now the big question. This is a big call, man. Goes for the Electromag Barrage. Okay. I think I like that. My alternate play would have been maybe unlock the melting point, Electromag Barrage, and range enhancement and energy diffraction, and just hope to make like a huge, just like a huge dick play. Really, that's it. And just hope that one melting point can get it done. Very, very unlikely. Very, very improbable. This is probably going to be the better play. Ooh. Need some chaff in front of this melting point. He's in a horrible, horrible position. He is so exposed. He's going to start to get clipped down very, very quickly indeed. And so now it all just comes down to the last remaining melter, who is getting hung up, hitting chaff at the moment. The Vulcan doing what it can, which isn't a whole lot as the chaff wave is piling in. The Vulcan is going to go down before the last of the chaff dies, meaning that the Stangs are going to get stuck hitting useless crap. And so even though the building is eventually going to drop over here, it's currently a level 4 building, which is just absolutely mental. And so the debuff is not really going to last any meaningful amount of time at all. In fact, it's already worn off. And GG, there it is, men. The good old classic fortress wall. Solid stuff. Jeez. And oi oi oi, boys. In this matchup between Mr. Susauer? Am I pronouncing his name right for the first time in Mechabellum history? We've got a little bit of Rhino Specialist, man, and he's up against Mr. Rooster PB once again. So stiff competition. Rooster coming in with the aggro steel balls leading in before the crawlers arrive. I love it, man. This is going to be a really, really interesting game. Down Rhino Specialist. I never see any of the higher rank players ever pick this up. Then again, maybe I just haven't watched any of these high rank games, I don't know, in too long or something. Maybe it's super popular. Who the hell knows? Either way, man, the Marksman getting a little bit done here for Susauer. On the side of blue, he is up against Marksman Specialist, though, and it's going to take a hell of a lot to plink this guy. In fact, I'm pretty sure this one Marksman could kill the rest of Blue's team at this point. And so Rooster, man, he's on the comeback. He's on the rebound, man. He's out for vengeance. And he's going to take round 1. Okay. Well, it's a very, very aggressive opener that Susauer has to deal with here. Haste module becomes available for red. That might be really, really good to supplement the aggro playstyle. Is there a case for photon coating? I mean, probably not. Could be haste module for both players? Yeah. It's the predictable sort. Fair enough. Okay. Stanks come out with haste module for red. I tell you what, man, I feel like the higher tier players tend to really, really value the hell out of Stangs with items on them still. It feels like this playstyle has been nerfed so many times over such a long period in Mecha, and yet still, just put items on your Stangs and you can't go far wrong, you know? Still have nightmares to this day of charged shot, charged ammunition Stangs, you know? Crazy, crazy stuff. Susauer sticking with the sledgehammer path after all, after a sell on the sledges on this side, repurchasing them for a hard reposition. Also notice he's going to go for the vertical formation pattern here, which is just going to make it so that the sledges die slower to the steel balls, and positioning them just a bit further back to account for the fact that they've got the haste module, so they are going to push forwards a bit faster than these guys. All these little micro decisions obviously come on into play. We have an extra pack of crawlers here as well. Come down from Rooster. Hard committing to the aggro game, man. Okay. So it's still going to be quite the struggle for the sledges to get these steel balls down. They bring down 1 or 2, but the chaff clear just isn't there to take care of the crawlers for now. That said, finding a bit of progress with the crawlers coming in from the right side, now crossing the middle and coming in for a happy little backstab over here. Should be able to do a little bit of something, but still the firepower's just lacking at bringing down the balls, man. And as the last of the crawlers get mopped up, it looks like it's going to finish out much the same as the disaster of round 1. Rooster, he's out for blood, man. Options. Item drop. Sabertooth's available. Sabertooths can be good for blue to just... oh, the Scorpions, though. Scorpions would eviscerate the steel balls completely. Overlords, he's up against an elite marksman. He'd have to do a lot to try and keep it safe. The fire badges, honestly, I think it's either the Scorpions or the fire badges, right? If you're blue. He's having real trouble killing off the chaff right now. The fire badges would get that done. There it is. Now, question is for red, does he have the read on this? And does he consider going into the Overlord here? What tech is he running? He's running Fort on a mission. Some upgrades on the steel balls, photon emission on the steel balls. That kind of play could be a line that he goes down. Safe option, probably the Scorpion. Just because the Scorpion kills, what, 3 out of the 4 units on this. Ooh, he does go for the Overlord. Okay. And levels on the steel balls. We could actually be looking at the old photon emission steel ball rush like we just mentioned here. And that's a gnarly strat to try and shut down, especially when it's chased up by Stangs. These Stangs get any kind of levels coming in. And can punch their way through chaff. Here it comes, dude. Here comes the rush, man. Dude, we actually called it. The rush is on. Additional marksman coming out. Maybe Susawa just realizing here that, maybe the Overlord is actually an option at this point, and we do have to play around that, and so he's taking the Overlord threat seriously with a couple of marksmen on this side now. Also the missile, dude, coming out. It might just clip some nerds here. Oh my god, it doesn't quite. Okay, it will actually fly just now. So he's gonna stop Red dead just on this one side, but the rush will make it to the building, man. The level 2 steel balls are gonna be too much to contend with. Question is, are there gonna be any Stangs left alive to take advantage of the building death by the time the building dies? The fire badges are on approach. The Stangs are starting to drop, and it looks like most Stangs die as the building goes down. At least this marksman is now doing very, very little damage to the Overlord, which for some reason is taking forever to shoot. Okay, finally take some shots at the Stangs and the tanks down below it. But even though the base rush is successful, Subsour are doing enough to hold on in this area of the map right now that it doesn't matter so much. Improved firepower control comes out for Red, wastes no time. Was that an extra pack of Stangs? Of course it was. Range upgrade comes out on the Stangs. His module, firepower control, all big upgrades on the Stangs right now. That's just going to help to cleave through the frontline Fangs that are right here on Subsours. I just want to see what he picks up as well. The rush is just going to continue coming in thick and fast here. Alright. And it looks like Subsour actually skipped there. I think he just gained the 50 supply there. I think that was a skip. He goes into Ignite. Wow. Don't often see that. That feels a little on the questionable side to me. We did get a sell on one of the packs of steel balls over here, by the way, for Rooster. Been shuffled on over to this side now. Maybe they were there last round, actually. No, they were just purchased by the looks. Okay, dude. The melting point coming out. Or Subsour. Or Susawa, rather. I like that a lot. It basically completely stops this strategy in its tracks, right? It's very, very good also against the Overlord Rhino rush strategy. I can't imagine we'll see any tech come out on the melting point for quite a while. Just because there's always the risk that the steel balls then go into mechanical division. And continue to be a huge problem. Ooh. Big fire and oil drop should basically just guarantee a round win for blue here. Steel balls drop very, very quickly. Melting point, it's all about the melting point, farming as much experience as it possibly can here. Don't think it gets a level off of this one Overlord. Not quite. 70% of the way there. We're going to drive around in the fire here for quite a while. Which is relevant. We've got to get out of there before the building dies on this side. Oh god. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to the developers adding just a slight amount of intelligence to the units, you know? So if they're not like actively aggroed on an enemy unit, maybe they try and go around fire or something. I don't know, man. Maybe that's really, really hard to code in, to be fair, in a game like this, but could end up units doing more stupid stuff than smart stuff if you're not careful. Okay. Mass-produced sledgy deployment ooh, neither player goes into deployment specialist. Shield device does come out though for blue. Okay, second melting point. I guess techs are becoming more likely by the second. Only 200 supply left to spend though. Oh wow. Whoa, dude. Rooster believing in the energy absorption steel balls. They do give these guys a lot more stability. But damn, dude, is this a risk? Additional steel balls come out here as well now. Some elite recruit action. Fair enough, fair enough. The Stang's kind of stuck on their levels at present. Not having the best time. I mean, surely we're still going to see the mobile beacon rush come down on this side. Ooh, we're going to switch things around just a little bit. Okay. I like how we also caught some of the Stangs in this as well, so the Stangs are going to decidedly push forwards and this way into these Fangs as well, because these guys are also going to have to probably die to get this this side of the Steel Balls through. Just little micro efficiencies there. I think it'll be quite effective. Crawlers on the back here. Ooh, there's also some flank action going on as well, which is going to pull away a portion of the chaff here, which is quite scary for blue. Without those backup crawlers coming in, these Steel Balls can be expected to wade their way through towards the base much, much faster this time. And in fact, the Steel Balls on this side are also going to get to connect on the melting point this time as well, which is going to be quite the disaster. Dude, look at that. The Fire Badge is coming from the middle and actually coming kind of clutch. It's stopping the rush on this side. I've never seen anybody go Ignite on Fire Badges before, not gonna lie. Seems pretty effective, man, at chowing down the Steel Balls. Okay, man, even though the rush fails, the Stangs live on. And the Stang's gonna be the deciding factor here. God, just stop giving the Stangs items, game. Rooster's having too much fun here, dude. Okay, lots of options. Level 3 Scorpion. Is that a cell on the Scorpion instantly? I think it was. Oh my god. Double upgrades the Napalm coming out on the Fire Badges as well. Wow. Okay. This is the most upgrades I've ever seen on Fire Badges, by the way. I feel like they're such like a neglected unit. You buy them as like a failsafe against straggler chaff that make it through your front lines. There's going to be a cell here too. Yeah, all kinds of cells coming out on the Scorpions. Increased range and mass upgrades coming out of the Steel Balls as well. Dude. The missile coming off here to clap these guys' cheeks. I feel like something that could really benefit Blue right now. He's got the supply to do it as well. It's just an extra pack of crawlers right here. Just a bit more late arrival chaff, because these guys are going to die to the missile anyway. Because these Stangs over here, they need distractions, man. The Stangs survived way too easily towards the end there. Very, very impressed by these melting points, by the way. Energy diffraction, multi-target, long-range melting points up against the carry-style Steel Balls. We've got a secondary little rush going in for this building now as well. But little does Rooster know, Susawa is ready with the Giga Chad melting points. Borrows cash to upgrade the Fire Badges, man. Okay. Let's see, dude. Look at these Fire Badges go, man. Oh my god, this rush is not going to make it at all. Not even close, man. Big multi-tiger melting points now going to start a connection with the Steel Balls over on this side as well. Same story over here, but these guys actually persist and just out-heal against the melting point on that one side. That said, left is holding strong. This one melting point now has a hell of a lot of work to do. It has the job of picking off this entire wave of Steel Balls over here. It's currently latched on all of them. I don't think they get to connect in time to live. They do not. They will actually drop in the end. And okay, the Big Daddy melting points actually prove to be the difference maker. That plus the power of the Fire Badges, which is still astonishing to me. I feel like I trash them all the time in my videos anyway. Maybe I'm underrating the hell out of those nerds. Ooh, the enhancement module. Damn, man, Subsour not tempted by the enhancement module? Dude. He has more, well, he's obviously got more patience and more brains than me. I see enhancement module. I see melting points that can get upgrades. Yeah, you know what's happening. So the Overlord gets sold off in the end as well. Smart choice. I mean, the Overlord's obviously just going to die every time now against energy diffraction melters. It's always going to get latched on, so it's going to be a bit of a disaster. Increased range coming out for blue as well, and the switch from red. Rooster's side now pumping melting points of his own. He has the cash to give them range. Ooh, but he opts into Electromag Barrage instead. Okay. Damn, really? The Electromag Barrage? I'd almost feel like maybe range on the melting points and then maybe high explosive ammo on the Mustangs would maybe be a path that I'd consider. Then do you have the damage to kill off the fire badges though? Or are you going to be relying on single target melting points to get that done? I don't know. I don't know that my line of play would be any better. I am curious to see how this pans out though. We're still going to attempt for the rush, but we are pulling these guys back just a little bit first. I guess just to allow the crawlers to also catch up just a little. Maybe they could have been pulled back just a little bit further. Okay. Crawlers also going to start melting to the fire in the flames, even though they are level 3 crawlers. Absolute light show going on right now, dude. It looks like these melting points are not going to get to connect on really anything that valuable. And down they're going to drop. And this is actually a pretty staggering amount of damage here. Rooster on the ropes, man. Alright. Laser sights for both players. No thinking about it. Gotta imagine the laser sights is going to drop here. Ooh, maybe here actually. This melting point is much, much safer, right? Okay, never mind. It goes here in the end. That's fair enough. It's going to stay in a very, very safe position indeed, especially when there's plus range on the field. Also, we have the oil coming down once again. It's going to be quite rough to deal with. Quite rough indeed. Ooh. Also oil coming out from... also oil coming out from Rooster, dude. Oh, man. If only he knew. If only he knew how effective this was actually going to be, he could maybe have positioned it even just a bit further down, you know? Oh man, got even greedier with it. Then again, I guess he's worried about barriers coming out, right? Yeah, the barrier actually does come down because Susawa is a much, much better player than I am. So there you go. The crawler's coming out on the right side flank as well. It's going to distract the Stangs a little bit over here. Is there going to be a difference maker? There's a hell of a lot going on in this round in terms of movements on the flanks and squiggly things happening with mobile beacons. Gonna drag these guys back, buy a bit more time. I'm really surprised with so much fire on the ground that neither player has gone into subterranean blitz on their crawlers, just to try and get them through the fire pools created by the badges. A little bit surprised by that. It could well bite someone in the ass just now. Alright, additional fangs are gonna drop. They're just gonna be staggered in after these guys to help protect this big blue. And here we go, man. Oh my god, camera lag. Absolute lake of fire comes down on the left side. These Stangs don't care, they got the range to stay out of that. Meanwhile, the melting points are just going to match in. This guy is kind of doomed, right? He's going to be pushing in too far forwards. It's really all about this melting point right here, and whether or not the laser sights are going to have what it takes. Oh my god, it does actually get latched on though from Afghanistan from this guy, coming in hot. And there it goes. Oh my god, dude, it might have all fallen apart. The big Susawa here right at the very end. Susawa, my bro. Rooster ain't playing no games, man. Okay. So the plus range and the additional melters actually made a massive difference, but this round there are no oil shenanigans to fall back on, unless somebody wants to try to be cute with the Vulcans, which by the way, red can do much easier than blue, so he does go into the Vulcans, just because even if barriers come down now, he has so many melting points with Electromag that he can afford to go into Incendiary Bomb and trust in the fact that any barriers that get placed here to protect the chaff are going to be instantly eradicated by the Electromag. Whereas blue obviously can't do the same thing. And there it is, man. There's the Incendiary Bombs coming down. I'll be curious to see if blue even tries to barrier against this. What he could do maybe on Susawa's side is like shields and sentry turrets. Or like shields back here and just a lot of chaff right at the front. Actually, what am I talking about? These crawlers just came down this round, right? So these crawlers' only job just now is to prevent the Incendiary Bombs landing on the bulk of the chaff. And so we might see some mind games come out regarding that as well. I'm a bit surprised with how far forward these Vulcans are, man. They don't have to be this far forwards. But then again, where else do they go? It's a very crowded field here. Maybe could go back to here with this guy. This guy back here? Or back here? God, I got a sneeze right before the round starts, which is really awful. Come on, hold it in, me. Hold it in. Okay, the shields do come down. These shields will be eviscerated immediately by electromag action. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. That said, the crawlers at the front are doing their job and actually deflecting the first wave of the electromag barrage. But it is going to fire again just now. The incendiary bombs, do they even have time to get off another incendiary bomb wave? They do not, man. And so the Vulcans are actually not going to connect with all that much value after all. But once again, these melting points are just outranged by the regular single target melting points, and that might actually prove to be the difference maker over here. Especially as the electromag comes out now as well, shutting this guy down. The big Chungus is getting to connect on the enemy melter. But does it have what it takes? Oh my god, it does. Dude, maybe if this guy actually went into energy absorption, that might have been doable. That might have been possible, but in the end, it was just 2 crawler placements. The 2 crawler placements right here from Susawa that actually ended up shutting down the Vulcan play completely. And so it just comes down to the melting points in the end. Ooh, and I totally missed this as well, but yeah, the Mustangs did also go into high explosive ammo too. I love that. I love that personally. When you have a big single target hit like the melting point, you just transition the Stangs away from like a mid-game kind of carry unit into just like a very advanced and effective chaff clear. As the game goes on, you kind of demote them a little bit. Yeah, I really like that strat, man. Big plays from Mr. Rooster and Susawa, man. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed these carry Stang games here today. They both ended up featuring Stangs very heavily indeed. So there you go. Maybe take that into your own games as well. The good old Stangs that transition into chaff clear, you know, and sort of make way for the big boys as the game goes on. It can be super effective. Also, if you're new to Mechabellum, goddamn, put items on your Stangs. It's so good. Okay. Thanks, guys. Hope you all did enjoy this one. And I'm going to catch all of y'all just a tad bit later, man.